In this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps of how to create a scatter plot using Microsoft Excel. The example I'm going to work off of is on page 101 in your textbook, problem 4.5. As you read that problem, you'll see it's asking you to create a scatter plot from the set of data that they show in the table in the book. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the file that they indicate, airlines, on your supplemental CD that came with your book, and open the data file so that you don't have to retype all of the values. And that's what you see here on the screen. This file is opened. The next thing that we're going to do is we need to highlight the two variables of data that we're going to be plotting. One on the x-axis, one on the y-axis. Now you'll notice we have three columns here. The first column is airline. So first of all, airline is a categorical variable and can't be plotted on an x-y axis. Second of all, for a scatter plot, we only want two variables. And so we're going to go with these two numeric variables to determine what our x and y coordinates are going to be. So the easiest way to create a scatter plot is to start with this first cell and click and highlight all of the cells to contain the data that you're interested in, and then go up to the Insert tab, and over here by Charts there's a chart type called Scatterplot, and choose the one that doesn't have any connections between the dots. And you'll see that this automatically inserts a very basic scatter plot into the spreadsheet for you. Now what we're going to do is format this a little bit better to make it a little bit more clear what's going on. So the first thing I do is we always want to have labels on the x and y axes, and we want to have a chart title. The simplest way to do this is to go up to this Chart Layouts section. You'll notice here we're in a Chart Tools editing tab up on the right here on the top of the screen. And in the Design section there's this Chart Layouts section. So generally speaking, the best layout, if you look at this little diagram here, you'll see the scatter plot. You'll see this little bar represents that there's a space for a chart title, and these little bars below and to the side of the axes represent axis titles. So we're going to choose that layout there because that sort of gets the main features that we need. And now we're just going to click here where it says axis title. If we click once and then click in it, we can actually go and edit that. So we're going to in this case the x-axis is outsource %, and our y-axis the same thing. Click in here, take out that blank axis title, and we're going to put in delay. And then on the top here we'll just add to this outsource % versus delay. So now we have all of our labels in. Now we don't really need this. In fact, this legend here is actually a little bit inaccurate. So we can click on this, and what we're just going to do is actually delete that, because in this chart we really just need the x and y axes labeled. Now the next thing we're going to do is just adjust these axes, because you'll notice there's a lot of blank space here before the first one, so we don't really need that, and the data is spread out a little bit more top to bottom. So if we look at outsource %, looking at the data, let's see, it seems like 23 is about the lowest. So let's just adjust this bottom axis so that 20 is the lowest number that we do. So we can double click on that, and you'll see up here in Axis Options, this is where you can choose the minimum value, the maximum value, how far apart each space is, and it automatically chooses these numbers for you. We're going to change that, and instead of having it automatically choose 0, we're going to change it to a fixed value that we're going to choose to be 20. The other thing we can do is change this major unit. Right now it's only marked at every 10, so maybe we'll just change that to be marked every 5. And you can also choose to change the maximum and the minor units as well. Minor units would be like little half dashes in between